No harm done. Accidents happen. My cigarette case. Where is it?
I didn't see.
You thought I wouldn't notice? A young lady traveling alone. An easy target for you, I bet.
I'm sure the young lady would appreciate the help of two handsome strangers.
Ah. Aha. Huh. Huh.
A young lady should not be left to gather her own things.
You are returning home?
I am. But how did you know that?
Besides your educated accent, the crest that adorns your cigarette case, it is of British origin.
Very observant. It's the crest of my family, and the case belonged to my mother. I take it everywhere with me. Miss Florence Farquhar, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is ours.
That looks like everything. Except for my powder case.
Is this what you're looking for?
It is! Thank you, Miss...
Miss Babanin. Anastasia Babanin.
Anastasia? What a beautiful name.
It was my grandmother's.
Well, that's everything now. I can't thank you all enough for your help.
I'd be happy to escort you. Here, I'll take your bag.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Cabin 4. I'll be right behind you. Anastasia, perhaps I can offer you a token of my gratitude in the bar later?
That would be lovely.
And you, Mr...
Detective Hercule Poirot, at your service.
A detective? I was not expecting to meet such a distinguished gentleman on board.
I did not expect to meet someone of Russian descent on a ship between the great city of Antwerp and Dover.
I never mentioned where I was from either.
One did not have to.
And here was me, thinking I was...
Your knowledge of my heritage is most impressive.
And I'll take that as my cue to leave. Good evening.
It seems it's just us remaining.
I would very much like to hear stories from your homeland.
As charming as that would be, I'm feeling rather tired.
Then I shall leave you to your slumber. Adieu.
As much as I enjoyed the delights of the restaurant, I still found my mind drifting. I have spent the first part of this excursion neglecting my duties. It's time to retrieve my notebook from the safe and the combination was not a difficult one to remember. 1815, the Battle of Waterloo.
Huh.
Come now, little grey cells. The Battle of Waterloo took place in 1815. Et voilà. Time to... One cannot ignore such a blood-curdling scream.
My mother's cigarette case! It's gone! How...
Mademoiselle, I ask that you take a moment to calm.
You're a detective! Of course! What luck!
As luck would have it, one of Belgium's finest. Now, I require as many details of the crime as you can offer.
I came to my cabin and began unpacking. I couldn't get the safe working, but the gentleman that helped me with my luggage showed me how it works. Afterwards, I went for a brief walk, and when I returned, the safe was open, and my cigarette case was gone.
We must consider the suspect list. Those who were aware of the cigarette case's existence.
That can only be those who were up on the deck when my luggage spilled. Miss Babanyan, the porter, yourself.
And your helpful stranger.
Yes, of course.
I ask that you gather them for me. And while you are absent, I shall begin my investigation in here.
Whatever you need to do to find it.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Aha. Oh. Oh.
Mademoiselle, I thought you would be returning with the gentleman also.
The gentleman wanted to speak to the porter alone first.
I was unaware he is also a detective.
He's not a policeman. He works in insurance, I believe.
It appears I shall be spending my time chasing amateur detectives around the ship.
Mademoiselle, I would like to start with who had access to the safe combination.
No one. It was in a sealed envelope that was waiting for me when I arrived. I memorized it and threw the paper overboard. 4385. It's really not that difficult to remember.
A similar envelope was waiting for me upon my arrival. The date of the Battle of Waterloo, as I recall. Every safe, although identical, must...
After the gentleman helped me with the safe, he left.
If the mysterious gentleman is behind the theft, he went to great lengths to hide his fingerprints, but did little to hide his movements in Mademoiselle Farquhar's cabin. There are many questions that require answers. Answers I believe he may hold. Magnifique.
Ah. Oh. Oh. Huh.
Magnifique.
You found one, detective? Ah, how exciting!
Magnifique.
You found one?
Mademoiselle Babagnan, I'm sorry we must continue our conversation under these circumstances.
On the contrary, what fantastic luck that you are here. Am I to be used as your...
I would not dare compare you to a guinea pig. Would you be so kind?
The answer is yes, of course. I have nothing to hide.
Mademoiselle Farquhar,
I hope so.
I'm sorry, but it's just not acceptable, Mark.
I've apologized to the lady.
And that makes everything all right?
It was an accident.
An accident that could have been avoided if...
Gentlemen, you are behaving like two young boys in the schoolyard. It ends now. Is Mademoiselle Farquhar aware you are acting as her knight in shining armor?
I wouldn't go as far as that. I'm Arthur Hastings.
She requested you to follow her to her cabin, no?
Oh, yes, she did, but I wanted to...
Speak with the porter privately? This was part of your investigation?
Well, I'm not a detective. I was just,
Then perhaps you will answer some questions that are vital to my investigation as a detective.
What can I do for you? When Florence... Miss Farquhar?
How so?
I'd rather not say with him stand...
It is not I that controls the...
You must have noticed the smell of beer on his breath. I wouldn't...
That is quite the accusation.
I wanted to give him what for, but, It is. Is my...
I hope you will entertain me for a moment.
Well, a report from a detective like yourself will certainly help.
As I thought.
It had perhaps not crossed her mind before, but being amongst an officer of the law and an insurance man...
Merci, monsieur.
This really is an exciting case. Anything I can do to help Miss Farquhar, please don't hesitate to ask.
Your enthusiasm has been noted.
Aha. Oh.
Perhaps you and I can have a more civilized...
I'll tell you the same as I told you.
Intimidation is not my forte. What is uncapped.
And that's...
That is what I am yet to conclude.
Who said anything?
It does not take a detective to...
Maybe one to calm my nerves. My sea legs aren't here yet. I was in the cargo hold, cutting something with my knife, and it's...
I'm not quite sure you understand what that means.
So now I am stupid and a drunk?
Do you have the knife in question on your person now?
I don't. He stole it.
Logical thinking shall always...
Huh.
Of course. Whatever you need. Insured?
Anything of substantial monetary value.
I'll stop you there, Detective. The cigarette case itself is hardly worth 2 pennies, but to me, it's priceless. You caught me, reading my own article.
I must say you raise a very interesting point.
Thank you for saying that. I wish everyone was as open-minded. Not for a second. At least not with my permission. You probably think this silly, naive woman has left her valuables out, or I've just misplaced them. But I assure you, that is not me.
It had not crossed my mind for even a moment.
Yes, I'm really quite excited about it.
You have been invited to a preview.
Will you be in attendance? I was lucky enough to have a sneak peek at some of the pieces on show.
Lucky indeed.
Of course.
Merci, mademoiselle.
You could ask me anything. I'm afraid I've done very little, actually.
Alone?
That is a rather personal... I'm sorry,
There is no need to be nervous. And then?
And then I was...
You have been most helpful, mademoiselle.
I must act on thought. One step closer to revealing the truth. Another success. I never doubt. Hot on the culprit's heels. I must consider the suspects I have in front of me. He is keen to impress Mademoiselle Farquhar. Mark Allard, the porter. Evidence suggests a rather amateur attempt to break into the safe, but it was just a ruse. The safe was opened quite Mademoiselle Babagnan. And I cannot see a motive besides the obvious value of the cigarette case. Perhaps the best thing for me would be to return to my cabin to think.
Ah, detective. How goes the
A good detective, better yet, a great detective, will find motive.
She found it! Miss Babagnan found it! Oh, thank heavens!
I was on my way to speak with the captain when I saw something shining and
Strange that it was not spotted earlier by any one of us while on the ship's deck.
maybe the thief was scared and dumped it for fear of being caught red-handed.
Miss Babagnan, Anastasia, you saved the day. I can't thank you. And you, of course, Detective.
I find Mademoiselle Babagnan's explanation of finding the cigarette case rather coincidental. The cigarette case has been returned, although there's still
I suppose you can...
A victory for Mademoiselle Farquhar, but not in the eyes of the law.
Well, if anyone asks, I'll confirm what a splendid job you did.
Very kind, monsieur. While we are on the matter of truth, Monsieur Arthur Hastings, you are here to oversee the transportation of the penitent
How on earth?
You are aware of my employment, but not of my true identity. Detective Hercule Poirot.
Wait, are you the official that I was supposed to have met on board?
Oui, monsieur. Please, accept my apologies for keeping my true identity hidden. But when it comes to the nature of our work, trust must be earned.
A little unorthodox, but I suppose I understand. So you can...
It continues to grow.
Well, we have a couple of weeks before the gala, so...
Hope one can hope.
I don't think I'll ever stop being amazed seeing such incredible pieces up close.
One would certainly hope not.
Huh. Aha. Huh.
What do you gentlemen think of this particular piece?
Can it really be?
To a layman, perhaps. I'm afraid it's a complete fake.
No. Such eloquent and delicate work.
Very observant. But that doesn't make it authentic. See if you can spot the telltale...
Huh. Huh. Ah. Oh.
The craquelure is inconsistent across the painting. Surely.
Very impressive, Detective. Unconvincing aging is one of the most common giveaways of a forgery, whether it be in the craquelure, the smells of chemicals used to artificially age the painting, pigment. Sometimes it's as simple as the materials used just not existing at the time of the trustees were quite excited by its arrival, but it didn't take me long.
Quite the detective yourself, Mademoiselle Warbeck.
Please, call me Evelyn.
If there's one thing I've learned in the short time I've spent with the detective here, formalities and politeness are essential.
They are a cornerstone of modern civilization and must be upheld.
This city could benefit from more gentlemen like yourself.
Now that the etiquette of our greetings has been decided...
I was hoping you'd say that. The exhibition area needs to be secured. And if you could tie this ribbon around the handles of the main door for me, I'll leave it outside.
If securing the exhibition room is what Mademoiselle...
Detective Poirot, have you ever...
Monsieur Hastings, everything has beauty.
Yes.
Oui.
Mademoiselle Warbeck requested I prepare a ribbon. Once I have done that, the restoration...
Oh. Oh.
Miss Warbeck did ask you to make it look...
One shall complete the task to the degree it is requested.
Oh yes, I see.
Everything is now ready for the arrival.
I assume you have the list of guests?
I am afraid not. It would usually...
Would you like me to find Miss Warbeck? There, look, there's Miss Farquhar. With Miss Babinin.
Seems that they became fast friends of... Intriguing.
Intriguing how?
Speculation, monsieur. Nothing more.
That head of yours is just Who's this?
I have no idea. But she's sure to turn heads with such a fetching dress.
I quite agree. And who is this dapper-looking gentleman?
Mon Dieu. Wait a minute. Is that... Poirot, you devil? Forgive me. Where are my manners? Detective Poirot.
Goodness, Monsieur Demire. Poirot is more than adequate for an old friend.
He saves my family from near ruin, uncovers a murderous plan, and still has the modesty to not...
Allow me to introduce myself.
Heavens, my manners appear to have been replaced by surprise and excitement. Forgive me. Monsieur Demire, this is Monsieur Arthur Hastings.
You've got yourself a partner now. Well, any friend of Poirot's is surely a friend of...
Monsieur Hastings has been kind enough to show me the sights of London. A more than adequate guide.
I would take that. It's as often as a blue moon you see Poirot handing out approvals like...
And what is it you do, Mr. Demire?
A previous field medic, Monsieur Demire now finds himself working for...
With?
Pardon. With his brother, doing most honorable charitable work all across London.
Need I say more?
Could everyone gather together for a photograph, please? Would you all move a bit closer together for me, please?
I didn't realize we were going to be in the newspaper.
Is that a problem?
No, not at all. I just want the camera to get my best side.
Okay, if everyone is ready.
So, Poirot, what on earth are you doing here anyway?
My orders were to see to the safe travel of the centerpiece of the exhibition, the penitent Magdalene. Monsieur Hastings here travels with me, covering any administrations and...
Art protection? That's a bit beneath the great Hercule Poirot, isn't it? Especially protecting it from this lot.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to introduce us.
Where's the fun in that? We have to make sure those... What?
You are referring to my little grays...
Little grey cells, yes. I've been playing a little game. I've been trying to find a... I wonder, Poirot, do you think you can ascertain which paintings match which guests? I can give you a little info, but... Miss Irene Courtsmire. She's one you'll want to keep your eye on in the future art. Born and raised on a rather affluent estate, She's
a very nice young lady.
Ah, really? Interested.
I was only making a comment on her nature, nothing untoward, I can assure you.
Or as we are all meant to refer to him as, the Honorable Reverend Horace Mountjoy. He's a man of the church. I'm not sure what else there is to say. If you're wanting to keep the lectures to a minimum... Mortimer Aylesworth. If you've not heard of him, I'd get familiar with the name. Eton and Cambridge educated, he followed in his father's political footsteps and has already surpassed them. Johann Christiansen and his glamorous wife Betty Allen.
Betty Allen, the actress?
The very same. They've been here in London for a few years, although she still plays down her boldness for British society.
She did not take his name in marriage?
Allen is her maiden name. Works as her stage name too. A lot snappier than Christiansen.
And his employment?
He's a partner partner for a private bank in London. You will no doubt already know our host, Evelyn Warbeck.
We have already made her acquaintance. Very pleasant, if not rather flustered.
That's everyone. Well, there's Mr. Hastings here. I'm sure we shall get to know each other better. And our mystery woman.
Anastasia Babana. We met briefly while traversing the channel.
Look at you, Poirot. Got a love interest of your own, huh?
Monsieur Demire, must I remind you of why I am here?
No. No need at all. I know you're strictly business. Let's see what you can do then. And come back to me when you know enough about the guests to solve my little mystery.
Ah.
Everything seems to be running smoothly. You've done a sterling job.
Everything except for the bishop and the other trustees, stooges.
It was never going to be easy going up against them. All men of a certain age, not used to the art. But they didn't get their way this time. And with my exhibit coming up, this place will finally have a showing they can be proud of.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe believes her upcoming exhibition will change the perspective of the trustees and the... I get the feeling she enjoys the accolades and being the center of attention.
Detective Poirot, you're looking much happier,
There was a moment when I thought that wretched sea would get the best of me.
Well, I'm certainly glad it didn't.
As am I. Please, do not allow me to disturb you, madame. Adieu.
Beautiful, isn't it? Not like the modern...
I would hope one's choice of art would not affect one's chances for a better afterlife.
Let's hope not, for her sake.
Aha.
Incredible, isn't it? And to think to think of all the suffering. I give...
I'm well aware of where we are. I just want to make sure I'm looking...
And people call me the drama queen.
Ah. Aha.
So, have you any thoughts on... So, have you any thoughts on my little...
Oh. Oh. Huh.
It is a great pleasure to see you again, mademoiselle.
I've been looking forward to us bumping into one another.
I must admit, I feel almost...
All that matters is that it was found. If this article isn't going to write itself, I moan.
How dare you? That might be something you say where you're from, but not here. Not to me.
What a waste of champagne.
I thought this was supposed to be a civilized event.
Are you all right, mademoiselle? I hope you...
Don't worry about me. It's only that wretched...
His suit and his mouth, by the sounds of it.
Do not allow this to ruin your day.
I have no intention of allowing such a thing. In fact, we have business to discuss.
It would be good to at least schedule a time that suits us both.
Monsieur Christiansen and Madame Hélène have returned.
You are to be the focus of Mademoiselle Farquhar's article.
Miss Court Smythe here is the next big name. And
Madame Hélène has left via the exit. But Monsieur
Do not allow me to interrupt your work.
You've...
If one is to discover the truth...
Why am I... That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why am I... That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why am I... That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they... That's right! Although... Anyone else? Why might they be... That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might... That's right! Although... Anyone else? Why am I... That's right! Although... That's everyone. Well done. I should have known it'd be no challenge for you.
I have faced many a more demanding challenge.
Hi, is he okay? I think something's wrong.
I think he's having a... He seems stable. Now's the time to get him to the infirmary.
Oh, there's no need for that.
Wouldn't it be best to telephone for a
Monsieur Demir was a field medic. What more of a prof...
A field medic? Really?
A field medic that has seen people in a lot worse states.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry. If I am being carted off, the unveiling must go...
You drive a hard bargain, Monsieur Els.
I'd just like to say a few words.
I'm sure you would.
Thank you all for coming. Here at the Royal Edward Gallery, we are proud to present some, and with much negotiation and pleading, we have been able to secure a most fabulous and individual piece. Standing here with you, unveiling today's centerpiece, the Penitent. So, without further ado,
Oh my.
Am I missing something here?
Things just got interesting.
it was. It should be.
Is this some kind of joke? Evelyn, what's going on here?
I.
Oh, trust you to have no idea. You've really done it this time, girl.
She's done nothing. It's not her fault.
By the grace of God, it's somebody's fault.
I am quite sure Mademoiselle Warbeck is as surprised as us all. S'il vous plaît, everyone. Remain where you are. Please do not touch a thing. Monsieur Hastings, you saw me lock the door to the restoration room, oui?
Of course, I was by your side. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble for this.
You are not responsible for the painting's disappearance.
But who is?
Do not allow any of the guests to leave the main hall.
And what are you going to do?
What is required? One's job.
So,
Monsieur Hastings, this theft may be a new and foreign concept to you. But to Detective Poirot, it is just another case waiting to be solved.
What do we do then?
We must get to work. If we can ascertain the thief's point of entry and exit, this may all be resolved momentarily.